2011 to meet Daniel Boglo, a former staff of GN Bank and Gold Coast Fund Management Company. For him, has lost a lot of friends as a result of this.
The last days, people were bringing money and we're still taking it. We didn't know it to get to a point where the government will even step in and say you are no longer going to operate. Why would I know about this and will not inform you guys? I'm telling you, I have people who were in authority that if I call for help, they will help me. But because of this, some of them don't even pick my calls. They won't pick.
He is hopeful about the assurance given by former President John Dramani Mahama.
I am just hoping that all the promises he has made to the suffering masses, he will be able to fulfill about 70% of them. Because as a politician, I don't expect him to fulfill all his promises.
Mr. Charles Frimpong is part of over 900,000 customers of defunct Gold Coast Fund Management Company, whose investments have been locked up. So government has to cough some 5.5 billion cedis to settle the customers. And he's got millions of cedis locked up there. But what does the assurance by former President John Dramani Mahama mean to him?
When I'm in short of money, whoever I can call and quickly come to my aid, I just accept that. Should I be living on that? No. I'm not a physical challenged person. I'm a strong person. I have brains. I'm a professional engineer. So invest.
If you put yourself in the shoes of these persons, you understand exactly what they're going through. Those were some customers of some of these collapsed financial institutions as a result of the financial sector cleanup and the option the Bank of Ghana took to do that exercise. Now, 5 to 6 years on, they still have not been paid. In fact, a number of them, just as you saw them speaking there, have not been paid their locked up funds. Some of them have died as a result. And we're going to be telling you the stories of these people, bring these experiences to life to you beyond the figures. Okay? And the sad thing is that there's no clear assurance of when their monies will be paid. And they still have to live with the impact of this economic crisis that we find ourselves in. These were some of the banks we're talking about, these institutions. In fact, they talk about the GN Bank. It was within the microfinance, that's a savings and loans. Within that savings and loan sector, 15 of them went down as a result of the cleanup exercise. The finance houses, a number of the customers of some of the finance houses that went down as well have their funds locked up. They're yet to be paid. Some of them, they were convinced to convert some of their monies locked up there into bonds. We know what's happened to government securities. At least for the last 6 months, things have played out and challenged that notion that the government securities are the safest. Now we know that's actually not the case. You see, these were the reasons that the Bank of Ghana gave for the cleanup exercise. They wanted a strong and stable financial sector, strong corporate governance, boost confidence in the financial sector, and amongst other things that they talked about, okay? So if this was the case, on the issue of confidence, stay with me, and in the coming days, I'm going to take all these reasons one after the other for us to understand at this point that we are, if all of these were able to stand the test of time. On the issue of confidence in the sector, some people have their money still locked up due to the cleanup. That impacted on the confidence in the financial sector, plus the impact of the Domestic Debt Exchange Program, the DEP, which was brought upon us. How the value of people's investment just got lost through no fault of theirs, bondholders and so on. That also impacted on the confidence. So we put out a simple poll on social media. Take a look at this. This is on Twitter and on Facebook. This was the result. We asked a simple question. How would you rate the confidence in the banking sector? Okay, this is it. We said 90%, 50%, 20%. Take a look at that. About 70.5% of the respondents said 20%. 15.4% said they have 50% confidence. And then you see 90%, also just about 14.1%. That was on Twitter. Look at Facebook. these are different platforms, okay? You have 69% of the respondents saying they have 20% confidence in the financial sector. 50% saying 19.9%. And 11.1% saying 90%. So clearly, the confidence that people have in the sector, one of the reasons why we went on this path, or the Bank of Ghana chose that path of rebuilding, or as it were, they said, improving the confidence in the sector. This is it. So after spending this amount to embark on that exercise to ostensibly clean up the sector, we have not been able to recover the said amount. This is how much we spent in the 25 billion, okay? And the last time we checked, under 3 billion the pound I was giving as monies recovered. So you juxtapose that plus the gains that have been made and the other options and alternatives that were being proposed at the time. We have seen UT and Capital Bank integrated into GCB Bank, and the other 6 were put together to form Consolidated Bank, as we established yesterday. Because of what's happening to the banks, government talked about this Financial Stability Fund, some 15 billion cedis in there. 2 weeks ago, we were told that some $350 million was coming in, 250 million from the World Bank, and then the AFDB giving us $100 million. We're going to engage financial experts to find out if this is going to be enough to help the banks or cushion the banks against the impact of this financial sector cleanup, plus the DDEP especially, which has left a number of the banks on their knees. And I'm going to show that to you. Because out of the 23 banks, at least according to the 2022 summary financial statement of the Bank of Ghana, 15 to 17 of the 23 banks that have released their 2022 audited financial statement registered losses at the end of 2022. This is a record loss, which is as a result of the domestic debt exchange program, impacting negatively on the operations of the financial institutions in question. Now, I want you to take a look at the 2 banks. I'm zeroing in on GCB and Consolidated Bank because they, as a result of the financial sector cleanup, got UT Bank and Capital in GCB. And then Consolidated Bank was formed by consolidating some 6 banks that were collapsed. Look at this. The profit before tax of GCB between 2017 and 2022. This is in millions. 2016, 467, a little over 467 million, 332, 450 in 2018, 574 million in 2019. Look at 2020, even in COVID, you saw 611, a little over 611 million. We've just rounded up the figure. In 2021, a little over 810 million. Now, take a look at 2022. They posted a loss of 706 million. It's in the, look, when you go on the website of GCB Bank, and you can find it in there as well, right? Now, let me show you, this is Consolidated Bank. 2019, a little over 104 million. 2020, a little over 77 million. 2021, then look at 2022, over 2 billion in loss posted by Consolidated Bank Ghana. It is worrying, okay? Now, if you think about the fact that we went on this financial sector cleanup, one of the objectives was to have a resilient financial sector, then these things, these developments should worry anybody who is looking at what is happening in the financial space. The capital adequacy ratio, it's crucial for if you're measuring the health of the financial sector and especially banks. It also paints another picture. Consolidated Bank, as at the end of 2022, -5, that's -5%. FBN, So 57% positive. Access Bank, GT Bank, the opposite. This is in the Bank of Ghana's own data. That is what we saw. Question is, will the 15 billion cedis Financial Stability Fund help in any way? Has the regulator, as the Bank of Ghana, been held responsible enough for the aftermath of this cleanup exercise? Coming up next, right after this quick break, we have a conversation. Professor Lord Mensah join me, together with some financial analysts, as we have this conversation on this matter up next on the financial sector. Cleanup, the regulator question. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly after this quick break.